Okay. 1, 2. Hi, I'm a scientist. It means that I'm boring, dazzled, nerd, shy, introverted, playing alone in my lab with life and death and uranium and Frankenstein and... No. Where does this stem from anyway? Most scientists work in team, are sociable, and a bit crazy. And I'm doing a master's degree in water science. Water science, H2O, doesn't sound really fascinating, but it is. And let me present you my research project. I will do so through a little story involving 4 characters, all played by a famous actress. It will soon dawn on you that this is a lengthy, high-budget presentation, knowing that all students are rich and have plenty of time to spare. The first character is the one and only Mother Nature. More specifically, we will focus on a specific domain of Mother Nature named Nunavik. To help with localization, I come from southern Quebec in Canada, and Nunavik is in northern Quebec, around the 62nd parallel. But why going in such a... Oh no, sorry. Canada is already known for its extreme weather conditions, but fortunately, I went there during summer, during the 60 days, annual 60 days without snow, with a warm 40 Fahrenheit. It's Fahrenheit C. Even Mother Nature has to wear a hat. But why going in such an inhospitable and unpopulated place? To see northern lights? To take pictures of caribou? To get stuck in the mud? No. Mainly because Nunavik is a wild, unspoiled tundra with a rich array of plants and animals, majestic lakes, and countless rivers. And Nunavik is unique, fragile, and maybe in danger. The danger comes from the second character, this good-willed second character, the mining industry. Oh, Colin, sorry. It was perfect. I'm mad. It was the Star Wars, okay? I had to adjust it before and I didn't anyway. For the sake of my presentation, I decided to represent the 5 metals of interest of my research by utensils. Of course, yours are not made of pure nickel, copper, zinc, cadmium, or lead. Or if so, you really have a weird kitchen set. It has already been demonstrated that the mining industry is the main contributor to metal contamination in the environment. Sorry. Despite a process of decontamination within the mining installations, they reject metals at various concentrations in rivers. Nunavik's Nunavik's bedrock is very rich in metals, and as I said earlier, it's unpopulated, a paradise for the mining industry. For many, the scenario with Mother Nature looks like this. But it is wrong to think that the mining industry acts without consideration for the environment. In fact, it has a water monitoring system to check this. It's represented by the third character, the water monitoring system. Okay, let's try again. Cool. Yeah. Water monitorings occurred all summer long to make sure that the wastewater meets the environmental standards. The water is checked directly at the emitting pipe and further down the river. We now have the third character, but we need a bridge to reach Mother Nature. It's not enough. There's something missing. Water monitoring system is a method a little bit chancy and has many shortcomings. Let's see why. Wow. Sorry. Okay, many factors will influence the metal concentration in water. First, there are variations in the incoming water, like precipitations and runoff inputs. This incoming water will influence will have an effect of dilution, and the metal concentration measured will be lower than what it really is. Second, in the same vein, the variation in the flow regime will influence how fast the wastewater is diluted in the river. Third, there are variations in the wastewater rejection. Rejection occurs all summer long, but is sometimes interrupted, and the metal concentration will quickly change following those variations. Because of that, the metal concentration is not representative of the living organism exposure. Looking at this, the duel seems endless and unfair. Two. Because of that, surface water is not representative of the environment. But if we go down the riverbed, the fourth character is discreetly waiting, just expecting to come to the limelight. It's the biofilm. So my research project consists of looking at biofilm instead of surface water to get an accurate measure of the metal concentration in the environment, in the river, more specifically around the mining industry in Nunavik. So we finally have the fourth character to make the link between the mining industry and Mother Nature. Ta-da! Okay, the ninja is pretty cool, but what is biofilm exactly? Biofilm is the whole living communities living on riverbed substrates like rocks and pebbles. It's a mix of algae, fungi, and bacteria. To make it short, it's the smooshy, viscous substance on which you slide when you walk in a river. Biofilm permanently soaks in river water and is directly exposed to metal contamination. In contact with metals, it has the ability to retain it on its surface. It can also integrate and absorb metals within its cells. It's bioabsorption. And it can hold them for a few days or weeks. Thereby, biofilm is really representative of the living organism exposure and the environment. Now let's look back and compare with the parameters that were distorting the water monitoring system. The biomonitoring with biofilm is not influenced with the variation in precipitation, water income, flow regime, or wastewater rejection. As I said earlier, biofilm is the living communities, so it is representative of the environment. On top of that, biofilm is at the entry level of the food chains, which means that if it's contaminated with metals, toxic metals like cadmium or lead, it will bioaccumulate through the food chain and contaminate the superior organisms like fishes. This is another reason why sampling biofilm is really important. And this is a true picture of biofilm I took in Nunavik. Now, it is relevant to ask if one method is easier to perform than the other. Well, the answer is no. We use a syringe and a filter to sample surface water, and we use a very sophisticated toothbrush and scratch the rocks around the mine to sample biofilm. Back to the lab, both water samples and biofilm samples are analyzed with the same devices, and it gives an important amount of computer data that provides directly the metal concentration in it. The result shows that the biofilm is a simple and representative biomonitor that we can use to get a great idea of the environment. Thereby, Mother Nature and mining industry can go ahead side by side in harmony.